When we bought the house 2.5 years ago is kind of when this journey began. We knew that the furnace was on its last leg. We knew that the water heater wasn't far behind. Electrification is important because it allows us the opportunity to choose where our energy comes from. You don't have that same flexibility with fossil gas, and so that was a primary motivator.
I met a representative for Michigan Saves at an electrification expo. I believe it was at the city of Ann Arbor was putting on. And I think the goal of that expo was to try to inform the community about what the options are. And I think that we're a great audience for receiving that information.
We have a contractor locator at Michigan Saves where you can go right to our website and you can type in the type of work that you're doing and the contractors will show up. And we just recently started an electrification badging program. Tom and Expert are one of our electrification badged contractors.
We started talking probably 9 months ago, but it took us about 2 weeks to go from taking the entire old systems out and putting the entire new systems in. They're fully operational, heating their home completely without any fossil fuels. They're comfortable, they're satisfied. If you really have a passion around it and you have ways to fund it that make it affordable, they chose from 3 or 4 different options. One of the things that they allowed us to do is explore what could really be done in a home their size and made it so that we can meet their needs and also help them reach the end of their cause, which is lower carbon footprint in their houses.
We pretty much electrified everything in our home. We already had an electric stove. We swapped out our gas-fired furnace for an all-electric air source heat pump. We swapped out the gas-fired water heater for a heat pump water heater. And we also exchanged the gas dryer for a heat pump electric dryer.
The benefit that I noticed right away was of the air sealing on the insulation. So our home was pretty drafty before we got into the installation of all the systems we had decided to move forward with. And at the same time, the way cold climate heat pump works so efficiently, kind of in combination with that improvement, and it feels way more comfortable in here. And so for me, that just means the whole system as a whole is working more efficiently than what we had.
We now have heat being delivered to both our upstairs and the downstairs with smart thermostats, and they're zoned. So we can set different temperatures for our upstairs or downstairs as we see fit. As a result of an energy audit that we got yesterday, it shows that our house is 41% more efficient than it was when we started this process.
We knew, based on the relationship that Michigan Saves had with Zack and Claire, the way that we conversed with them about securing funding and what Michigan Saves would actually support in the process. It allowed us some freedom to make multiple recommendations and to make sure that whatever we knew about the electrification process, we could put into Zack and Claire's hands, and then they could very easily, if they needed to, go back to Michigan State and say, hey, here's one of the recommendations we're thinking about. Will this work for funding? Will this work for the loan process? And then there would be no hiccups throughout.
They did it the right way. It wasn't just a unit swap out. They took care of their building envelope, they reduced the load, they put in a really high efficiency piece of equipment. There were so many pieces that came together so perfectly, it just made my day.
We are going to use some incentives to help us finance the project. We're getting some affordable loans with the help of Michigan Saves through our local credit union. Lake Michigan Credit Union is one of the financial institutions that Michigan Saves works with.
And to finally have a right-sized and capable heating source is really nice. It's really comfortable in the house. I think we sleep better at night, honestly. There are resources to help you through. Michigan Saves is there for you.